What is going on, guys? Grave here. Today I'll talk about the different classes in Battlefield 6 and what all they bring to the table. There's a lot of stuff going on with these classes, from signature traits to signature weapons to signature gadgets. It's a bit different than what we've seen in past Battlefields, but we've seen this in a lot of different games, but they've kind of combined them here. So you have a lot of options when you pick your class. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. Let's talk about the Assault class first. The Assault class is kind of the guns blazing, first to the door class. The signature weapon for the Assault class, of course, is going to be the Assault Rifle, fast draw and switch times, plus better sprint recovery. The signature trait for the Assault class is reduced fall damage and no movement speed penalty after falling. And the signature gadget is Adrenaline Injector. This is a self-administered stimulant to enhance fighting capability, temporarily boosts sprint speed, and reduces explosive damage, provides resistance to debuffs, and makes enemy footsteps easier to hear. There's a lot of stuff going on right there with that Adrenaline Injector, and it gives you a lot of benefits. Now, it says the Assault class can exchange one of its gadget slots in favor of taking an extra primary weapon. There also is going to be grenade launchers available to the Assault class. You have the Explosive Grenade Launcher and the Thermo Grenade Launcher. The Explosive Grenade Launcher, of course, is explosive rounds that you can kind of, go to a range past what you could throw. And the Thermo Grenade Launcher is one that, of course, will burn upon impact. We have Assault Field Spec, so this at level 0 negates movement speed and penalty when aiming down sights and moving. At level 2, we gain an additional charge to your Adrenaline Injector, so you would actually have 2 of those charges. I'm assuming that's going to be per life. Improved passive regeneration stats, a plus 50 rate at a negative 50% delay. And the class active ability will be the Combat Stimulant. Highlight enemy sounds and reveal nearby enemies. A 5-second duration, which is extended with kills. So the Assault class has a lot going on there and some pretty interesting field specs and perks and weapons available to it. But that's not all. DICE and EA did tweet out the other day, even before the beta, they made a change. Now, this could change after the beta. The new gadget, which is going to be the Assault Ladder, will be available to the Assault class as well. This is a ladder, and you saw it in the trailer, that you can put down and actually run up into the window and kind of breach the window that way. And they also decided to go with the Deploy Beacon, which has always been on the Recon class, and move that to the Assault class. So that Deploy Beacon, that Respawn Beacon, will be available to the Assault class. I've seen a lot of people talking about this, saying some like it, some don't. I kind of understand why they decided to go with this, because I'm sure a lot of you have been in games when you have someone that is actually sniping and kind of out somewhere far away, and that is where their Respawn Beacon is. It doesn't really do a lot of good for the players to get back into the action quickly if they spawn on that. So having the Respawn Beacon be available to someone that's actually in the fight all the time, up around flags, capturing, doing that kind of stuff, that is a pretty interesting take, and I'm curious to see if the Respawn Beacon will stay on the Assault class, or they will decide to change that again after the beta, before the game releases. Now, when it comes to the Engineer class, of course, the Engineer class is the class that is going to be there to repair friendly vehicles and, of course, take down enemy tanks, helicopters, planes. The signature weapon for the Engineer class is the SMG, which does have improved hipfire control. The signature trait is Flak Jacket, which decreases damage taken from explosives. This is a negative 33% splash damage only. So this is going to be if you're out there trying to take down a tank and they're shooting at you, that splash damage will be reduced if you are on that Engineer class. The signature gadget, of course, is the Repair Tool. The same thing we've always seen. You can repair friendly vehicles and equipment, and it will have that overheat option on it if you do use it for a period of a long time. We have the RPG, the Surface to Air, and the Motion Sensor Mine for the Engineer gadgets. So the Surface to Air is always kind of the same thing we have seen before. It's the Airborne Vehicle Rocket Launcher. Then you have the Unguided RPG, which is perfect for slow moving targets or destroying structures. And the Motion Sensor Mine is a placeable gadget that detects nearby enemy vehicles, launching an explosive payload when the target is in range. For the field specs on the Engineer, at level 0, you get an increased amount of rockets you can carry by 2 or rocket ammo. At level 1, you get an improved reload time for launchers, which is a pretty handy one. Also, level 2, or excuse me, that was level 1. At level 2, you get damage to vehicles, reduces the repair effectiveness. So if you're damaging a tank and they're trying to repair it, their actual repair effectiveness is going to be reduced if you're at level 2 in the Engineer field spec. And the class active ability for Engineer is Power Repair. Activate to increase the repair tool's efficiency. I'm assuming that's going to allow it, from the way it sounds, to go a bit longer and not overheat as quickly, or maybe to repair faster. When it comes to support, this one is a bit different this year than what we've seen in the past. Support used to be, of course, the class that always carried ammo. Now support is the all-around kind of jack of all trades when it comes to ammo and healing. So for the support class, the MG will be the signature weapon, which no sprint speed penalty. The signature trait is going to be quick revive, faster drag and stationary revives, plus 20 speed and a negative 0.5 second duration. And I know a lot of you saw it probably right at the beginning of the reveal trailer for multiplayer. You saw that character dragging, and of course you can inject them to revive them right there. So if you are on the support class, you're going to have the quick revive and faster drag and stationary revives. The signature gadget is going to be the supply bag. This is a bag that resupplies all nearby infantry with ammo for gadgets and weapons, and it also regenerates health more efficiently, even when under fire. So that bag, instead of having a bag for health and ammo, it seems like it's going to be just in one bag there. When you throw that down, that's going to give the ammo and the health to everyone that's around. The support gadgets are the defibrillator, a device that allows you to revive squad mates and just teammates alike, and will revive to full health. You have deployable cover, which is a cover that you can place down that protects against ballistic and explosive damage and can be repaired by an engineer. And the support field spec at level 0 distribute health packs to teammates when they directly interact with you. At level 1, reviving down teammates boost health regeneration. At level 2, improve stats for all defensive gadgets. And the class action ability is the Aid Station, which acts as a mobile supply bag for a short amount of time and revives teammates in 2.5 seconds. So that sounds like it's going to be really fun if you're a fan of running support, or your ammo, the heal kind of class. In the past, in Battlefield games, that's usually what I always run. I mean, I try everything out, but every Battlefield game, it always seems like I go down to either running around picking people up, reviving, or I run ammo. So this class is kind of just a dream come true for me, because it does it all, and I think I'm really going to enjoy that. When the last thing I kind of want to talk about there, before I go on to the Recon, is I did like that they decided at level 0 you can distribute health packs to teammates when they directly interact with you. So I'm assuming that's going to be like what we've seen in the past. You can go up to someone that is support and take the heal or ammo, kind of off of them. It just says health packs. I'm assuming it doesn't do it with ammo. It may later down the road, or if they decide to add that. But I do like that option, to where you don't have to wait for somebody to throw down that bag. You can actually just take the health pack off of them by just interacting with the character. Now, when it comes to Recon, of course, this is the marksman class with sniper rifles and things like that. We all know what the Recon class is. When it comes to the signature weapon, of course, it is the sniper. It's stable aim by holding breath and rechambering quicker between shots. The signature trait is auto spot. Looking at hostiles while in ADS marks them as spotted. So you actually won't have to physically hit the button to spot them. It's going to spot them automatically as long as you're ADS, you're looking down sight. The signature gadget, of course, is going to be the motion sensor. This device detects and displays the position of enemies, at least nearby moving enemies, vehicles, and gadgets on a team member's minimap. Enemy infantry can remain undetected while moving in crouch or prone, and the device emits a sound audible to hostiles. So you're going to be able to hear it. I don't know what the amount is that you can carry. We all know that the motion sensor, we use Battlefield 2042, for example. When it first came out, the game was first released, the motion sensor is what everyone ran, because you could continuously just throw them out. Of course, they did fix that later down the road. I'm kind of curious to see how many motion sensors you can have with you, if it's something you're actually going to be able to throw, or if it's going to be a device that you place down, kind of like what we see now. And then you can just kind of, move it around, or, it will respawn after a time. But this one's pretty handy by giving you all the information we've had before. But, of course, you will have that sound that the enemies can hear that will allow them to be able to find it. But I do find it kind of neat that the enemy infantry can remain undetected while moving in crouch or prone, which is a pretty interesting kind of counter to that motion sensor. The recon gadgets are the demolition charge, which is a high explosive charge that can be remotely detonated. So what we've seen before, something like C4, and deployable beacon, a placeable item that sets up the deploy point for squad members. Now, we did know that they took that away and placed it on the assault class. I have not seen anything for the recon class that they have put in this place, so I don't know what we're going to get there. We may have to wait and see until the beta comes out. When they talked about putting the deploy beacon on the assault class, they didn't really mention what they were going to do there to the recon class to replace that. When it comes to the field spec for recon, at 0 you get improved auto spotting, at level 1 you get sniper rifle shots to the torso, slow healing, and at level 2 headshots from sniper rifles are unrevivable. So that's kind of a unique thing. We know a lot of times in Battlefield games that a headshot, you couldn't be revived anyway, but that's kind of interesting that they've put that on the recon class at level 2. So I'm curious to see if headshots are revivable from anyone else if they're not on recon. The class active ability is a UAV call-in. It calls in a UAV to shadow you and aid in spotting enemy combatants, which is kind of a unique thing, but something we've somewhat had in Battlefield 4. When it comes to Battlefield specs, there's a lot of different specs there we talked about with each class, but each one will have 2 options to further refine their effectiveness with their role. When DICE talked about this and EA talked about this, they talked about the recon for an example. It says you can choose a sniper or pathfinder training with kind of focusing on spotting and damage, with the latter giving the tools to get behind enemy lines without being detected. So each one of these, kind of what they're talking about here, is each one of these specs, the 2 options you have, are going to give you different ways to play, which I think is really, really nice. It also seems like all of this stuff is going to be able to, be ranked up and stuff like that with XP, the way they've been talking about it. So we'll kind of have to wait and see till we get hands-on. There's been a lot of details out there, but nothing just, concrete on exactly how all of this is going to work. And I'm sure that's kind of on purpose. They want us to know about the stuff, but at the same time, they want us to experience it firsthand. Now, I have heard that we're not going to have all of the spec training options maybe during the beta. Some people have said there's going to be just one available instead of both. We'll have to wait and see on that as well. But I just want to give you all kind of a general idea of what these classes will do. Like I said, what they're going to bring to the table, because this is a lot different than what we've seen in past Battlefield games. It seems like they've put a lot of stuff into each class, give you a lot of ways to level them up, rank them up, and give you a lot of benefits for running whichever one that you want, whichever one you find interesting. Leave me a comment with your thoughts, and of course, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.